What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. There's a lot going on in the Marvel world right now. We're getting a ton of footage of the filming of Spider-Man Brand New Day. And don't forget, Avengers Doomsday is also filming right now. And even though the Fantastic Four First Steps isn't doing spectacular at the box office and the Thunderbolts didn't exactly crush the box office either, both movies are regarded as pretty great films by a majority of the fan base. Not all, but a good majority. Giving people some more faith that Marvel Studios is going to continue to bust out great quality projects. And it looks like that is going to continue to be the case for Spider-Man Brand New Day because what we've seen so far looks amazing and they're doing everything pretty practically. So right now, the hype is up there. Fans are hyped for Spider-Man Brand New Day, and it looks like Marvel might be trying to capitalize on that hype. As a pretty big rumor, and I do stress rumor, is going around right now that Marvel Studios has their next chair video planned. I'm sure we all remember the infamous chair video that was many hours long that Marvel Studios streamed, telling us the first part of the cast for Avengers Doomsday. Well, according to a new rumor, the second part is coming at the end of this month. Now, again, I want to stress that this is a rumor and it's not confirmed at this point in time, but Marvel Studios has confirmed that the cast that they announced during that infamous chair video, which is officially titled Avengers Doomsday Now in production, they confirmed that the cast that they announced in that video is not the full cast. And they pretty much confirmed this right away. After doing the very long stream, they posted a quick minute and 47-second video on YouTube and Instagram, and Robert Downey Jr. himself commented on the Instagram post stating, "That's what you call a deep bench of talent. Actually, it's more like a row, but an extra long one. That must be it, ... right?" And recently Marvel has done a few projects in between, and Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, has been asked about this, and he confirmed this is not the entire roster. There are more cast members that are going to be announced. So of course, everybody immediately started to think, okay, they're gonna do another chair video, and right now is actually the perfect time for them to do this. Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to end its filming publicly in Glasgow by the end of this month, which is when this new report says that we're going to be getting that chair video part 2. There's been a few people reporting on this, but I believe this report is coming from the Geeky Cast, who has reported on things in the past, but they're still a relatively new scooper, so take this with a grain of salt. But the rumored release date for the next cast announcement is supposedly August 27th. Now again, this is a rumor for now, it's not confirmed. However, I do think this would actually be a really good idea for Marvel Studios to do, and I'm sure they realize this as well. And honestly, it's much needed at this point in time that we're in right now with superhero movies. Right now, there's a big conversation going around pretty much everywhere online, and you've probably seen a video or two or more about the topic, are superhero movies dying? Is this the end of the superhero movies era? And while I myself personally have lots of thoughts on this, and ultimately my answer is no, they're not dying, Marvel hears this and they see this, and so does DC. And it's interesting because it's coming at a time where Superman was a really good movie, and Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four were really good, but they're kind of failing at the box office to hit those incredibly high numbers. However, the people who did see these movies and liked them or loved them, they're excited again. And now with Spider-Man Brand New Day filming and us getting kind of a first look at the new suit and the scene that they're filming in Glasgow, the hype is really getting up there. So now is kind of the perfect opportunity for Marvel Studios to take it to the next level, because they really do have to start now, because we don't really have much build up to Avengers Doomsday, just a couple of post-credit scenes in the MCU so far. And what could take that even further? Announcing the full cast for Avengers Doomsday. Because despite whether you thought that the chair video was brilliant or you hated it, it freaking worked. Everybody was talking about it. It basically broke the internet. And it basically showed everybody, yeah, Marvel's not dead, and the hype is still there. And now they're going to give us part 2. Whether that's August 27th or another date, we are going to get that full cast announcement. So the question now is, who's going to be announced? Well, we have a list of pretty much all of the probable characters, the ones that make the most sense. And remember, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, they're going to be a giant ending to the entire MCU as we know it, because Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, confirmed Secret Wars is going to reset the MCU timeline. So we're basically getting a new MCU after Secret Wars. Some of the characters are going to survive, but for the most part, when we go into this new universe, we're going to get a lot of new characters, like the the X-Men in its entirety. They're going to be all completely new actors playing new characters in the MCU. So expect this grand finale of our main timeline right now to be just that, grand, filled with a lot of different actors and characters. So here's a list of the characters that make the most sense that we've heard are going to be announced in this part 2 video. And there's a lot. The first one we'll talk about is Tom Holland. He is filming Spider-Man Brand New Day right now. Timeline-wise, it happens before Avengers Doomsday to the best of our knowledge. So of course it would make sense that he is going to be in Avengers Doomsday. Plus, again, if they want that hype coming off of Spider-Man, it makes complete sense to put Tom Holland in that movie. But another one that is a pretty big question mark right now is Elizabeth Olsen, the Scarlet Witch. We've heard some reports that the reason Dr. Doom wants Franklin Richards is so that he can actually revive the Scarlet Witch, which does seem like a very Dr. Doom thing to do, wanting to use the Scarlet Witch for her powers. But regardless, since again this is pretty much a grand finale, it would make sense for Elizabeth Olsen to return as the Scarlet Witch and perhaps even get a redemption arc for her. If everybody else is coming back, the Scarlet Witch should return as well. We know she's not dead, and if she is, we know she's not permanently dead. Remember, in the comics, people come back to life all the time. But then we have Mark Ruffalo. Bruce Banner is returning in Spider-Man Brand New Day. It would make sense that he would return in Avengers Doomsday, especially because we have actually seen the leaked concept art for Avengers Secret Wars, and he was in that, so it makes sense he would return in Doomsday. Then we basically have the team that we know to kind of be the leaders of the MCU right now, especially if you take a look at that post-credit scene for Shang-Chi. So Benedict Wong as Wong, Brie Larson as Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, another OG Avenger, Jeremy Renner as Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye. They haven't announced Chris Evans to be returning, although some major trades have reported that he is returning, and in this new report from the Geeky Cast, they say it's likely they'll announce him. With that report, we also heard previously, again from the trades, that with Chris Evans returning, we'll get Haley Atwell returning as well as Peggy Carter. Sophia DiMartino is another one. She plays Sylvie, and since it all apparently leads to the TVA, Doom and the Avengers are going to be at the TVA trying to basically protect or attack Loki, it makes sense that Sylvie would definitely be involved with this movie. The same thing goes for Owen Wilson's Mobius, Wunmi Masaku as B-15, and Ki Hoi Kwan as Ouroboros. They already announced that Chris Hemsworth is returning as Thor, so it would make sense that the current King of Asgard, technically, Valkyrie, Tessa Thompson, would return as well. We also know that Teyonah Parris is going to return as Monica Rambeau. That's a big part of the plot of Avengers Doomsday, her being in the X-Men universe. And we know that some of the young Avengers are going to be in this movie as well. So Iman Vellani returning as Kamala Khan, Dominique Thorne returning as Riri Williams. We also hear that Xochitl Gomez is going to return as America Chavez, Catherine Newton returning as Cassie Lane, and Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. In the Avengers Secret Wars concept art, we did also see She-Hulk there. So Tatiana Maslany returning as She-Hulk. We also know Wakanda is going to play a pretty decent sized role in the movie, so Denai Guerrera returning as Okoye. We've also been hearing that Nick Fury is going to be returning, so Samuel Jackson. And two really big ones, of course, would be Benedict Cumberbatch as Dr. Stephen Strange and Charlize Theron as Clea. I think those two pretty much have to return. They're going to play a big part in the entire multiversal story here. Yahya Abdul-Mateen is about to be Wonder Man, so it would make sense that they would bring him in. And two big ones are two OG X-Men that haven't been announced yet, and that would be Famke Janssen as Jean Grey and Halle Berry as Storm. I really want those two to return. And then you basically have Peter Quill, so Chris Pratt, and the rest of the Guardians if they choose to bring them back. So we would have Vin Diesel as Groot, Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon, Will Poulter as Adam Warlock, Sean Gunn as Kraglin, Maria Bakalova as Cosmo, and Kai Zen as Phyla Vel. And that's pretty much the expected list of people who make sense to appear in Avengers Doomsday. Of course, there could be others that we don't expect, and of course, not all of these could be announced. But overall, this is pretty much what we expect to be announced in that next Avengers Doomsday production video, or the chair video part 2. Go ahead and let me know what you think about this list. Does it make you excited for the full cast of Avengers Doomsday? Again, it's not confirmed, but ultimately at some point in time, they will do a casting announcement part 2, and this is pretty much what we expect. So let us know if this gets you excited or not in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all things relating to Avengers Doomsday and Marvel in general. And you can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.